doing?
What do you mean? Woods here. It's of Craig Overton. He's bowling to the ex-skipper Alistair Cook. You've got Stoneman next to him. Vince. Yeah, out here, you're just looking to get yourself in the right state of mind. Now it's all about the mental side. Technically, if you're having to work something out technically now, 2 days before the test match, you're not right. You're nullified, you've got no chance. The technical side of your game should be in the bag. Now it's about the mental side. Can you just watch the ball and react? Oh, Broad's gone to right midfield. What is he doing up there? Oh, he's gone a trick. He's done a trick. He's in here. He's in. He's in. Oh, he's missed. Who's that? Who's missed that? Test team. The one-day team, you've got Butler, he's good, and Sam Billings. James Vince, Bairstow. He likes too many. Yeah, he's a bit. Yeah, look, he goes for the glory all the time. Keep it simple. I mean, usually here you come to Brisbane and it's roasting, it's humid. Now this is more like a May Day in the UK. Drizzle in the air. I've not seen this before at the Gabba. I mean, talking of the weather, back in 2002 we arrived, it was, I'm guessing around 30 odd degrees, blue sky, crowd was building up, NASA went to toss up, won the toss, we'll have a bowl. Not too sure what he saw in the 22 yards, but we had to spend the whole day in the dirt. I dropped a couple of chances. I think I dropped Hayden at extra cover, a steepler. The crowd gave me plenty. The third over of the game, Hayden drop-kicked Andrew Caddick over his head, just pitched one up and smashed him straight over his head. And then there was the terrible incident of Simon Jones, just right into the far corner. The wedge was all right. Huh? Oh, I didn't even use your driver. It's like a fishing rod. Yeah, this crowd here will be right on top of the England side. The Barmy Army, they'll have one or two little sections. They're generally down here on the bottom tier, and none of their noise will transcend around the ground. There'll be 40,000 Australians here that'll just give England plenty. Catch. Now, this is going to be crucial. England trying to get the cordon right, that slip cordon. Alistair Cook at 1, Joe Root the skipper at 2, David Milan's gone to 3, James Vince around the 5th, he'll probably play around the gully region. In practice, the last couple of games, they've dropped a lot of catches. You just can't afford to do that. That was a nice grab, one-handed. Well, the cordon's been chopping and changing for a while. I mean, I would say England's best catcher, unfortunately, is Ben Stokes. He's the natural catcher in the team. Jimmy Anderson, you would say, but he doesn't work in the cordon because he's having to bowl. This is a cordon that they all catch pretty well, but I wouldn't say there's a natural catcher amongst them. Look at him, he just runs like a Surrey player, doesn't he? Look at him. Yeah. Jesus. England dressing room, lads are behind there. You can't see the ground from inside there. Just hear the noise. I can only imagine that last time England were here with the collapses in that first innings, and the second actually. They must have just heard the noise, walked through here and straight out onto the ground. This is the tunnel. Very different to most dressing rooms that you can't see the ground but you can just hear it. England players will walk through here and usually you get hit by the heat. They'll certainly get hit by the noise this week, but the temperature I don't think is going to be quite as bad as recent times. But it's that noise that 40,000 Australians, the bay for English blood here. That Saturday afternoon, last time when Mitchell Johnson roared in, that's as noisy as I've ever experienced any cricket stadium. Hostile, and I can understand now that the England team couldn't cope. It was just too quick. You're looking at Stark and Cummins in particular. I think Hayes will be the one that pitches it up. Cummins, Stark, they'll try and rough the England team up. They'll try and intimidate them with lots of short stuff. And someone that's walking towards me now, Alistair Cook, he's the man to nullify it. Hello, Chef, how are you? Yeah, well, how are you? You're all good?
You're looking in quite good nick.
I'm all right, I've just been cycling.
Have you?
That's why I've got no shoes on, I've had my cleats on. 128 for 3 in the 16th. Well, he's got 1 for 64 in his 8. I'm not in that.
A day to go before the start of the Ashes. Let's have a look at what the papers are spouting on about today. The Australian, of all papers. They're leading with Warner stiffed by a pain in the neck. This is a story that David Warner yesterday in fielding practice ricked his neck. which goes to show fielding practice should be outlawed from cricket. No one likes fielding. Oh yeah, tweets at 10 paces. Nathan Lyon went into the press yesterday and absolutely slated former test player, good friend of mine. He's still a good friend of mine, he's not a former friend of mine, Matty Pryor. Matt wasn't taking this line down. He started firing into Lyon on Twitter saying he's embarrassed himself. Nathan, just keep it shut sometimes. It was quite funny actually. He went in and put on this big front, big tough man. Then Alistair Cook went in the press 10 minutes later and said it's really strange actually, because I was just speaking to him, had a lovely chat about a family, about the weather. So I think someone's told him to go and put on to be a big scary Nathan. Oh, this is my favourite story about the cricket yesterday, and it's about golf. Jordan Spieth, who in the Pro-Am, leading up to the Test match, Ricky Ponting should be with us, going through last minute things, but he's playing golf instead with Jordan Spieth. Let's get to the tabloids and what else to lead with by the tabloids, but a story about the Wags. Veteran draws blank, lovely picture of Alistair Cook there, obviously getting out. It's Australian press after all. The English have been very laid back, I think, going into this test. They haven't engaged in the war of words. The Aussies really are trying to ramp up the phony war, if you like. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. All Alistair Cook talked about was Luton Town winning 7-0 at the weekend. As if he knows. He doesn't know anything about football. You should see him play football. He's atrocious. It's the groundsman's last ever game. Oh, there's a picture of his pitch up there. That's a nice touch. I suppose if you're into groundsman news, the most important thing to leave you with is there's a bargain coming up. Stormtroopers shave as well. If you want to just whisk off those whiskers from your helmet, you can do now. Knockdown price of just $99. Cheers.
I think we just tried to be normal. We just tried to be ourselves and try and enjoy the trip. We've had a good time. We've done some good stuff away from cricket, and then when we've been on the field, we've put in some good performances. So it's about replicating those good performances now in the Test matches and playing to our potential.
How disappointed are you that Ben Stokes is not going to be up against you?
Yeah, I think it's probably disappointing for the England team and the country. I think he's let a lot of people down. It's obviously up to the English police first to think that that's right. With punishment or not punishment. But at the end of the day, he knows he's made a mistake. Words have been said. It's about the time we get on to cricket, and hopefully, there's a little bit of a banter out there. I always love that, and I know the crowd does, and I know you guys like writing about it.
But their records are there to be broken. They are to be changed. One day, Australia will lose a game at Brisbane in the Ashes. Records don't go on forever. Everything changes, and you wouldn't want to be the Australian side who does lose at the Gabbers. So they're good bowlers. They've got good records. But there's nothing we haven't seen before in cricket. They're not bowling. They're not suddenly bowling 150 miles an hour. It's not got magic balls which start way outside the stumps and swing miles and stuff. Things that they're very good bowlers with good records.
Yeah, we played a Shield game against Cam a couple of weeks ago, and he looked very technically sound. First game, he was quite nervous. He doesn't look like a nervous character, but there's always a sense of nerves when you walk out here when it's an Ashes Test match series. Mate.
I've got heroes that I've admired. I've obviously admired JL growing up. Matty Hayden. They're all very unique, and if I can go out and be the best Cameron Bancroft I can be, then I definitely feel like I can, forge my own reputation and hopefully a really good career for Australia. I've copped crap my whole life. I've been brunt of jokes and things like that. So I like to think that I've developed a bit of thick skin. My looks are definitely judged upon quite heavily by teammates. And just I don't really know. But it's just the opinions of others, isn't it? So I think I've developed a strong tolerance to things like that. The old sticks and stones theory, I guess. But yeah, I do know that I'll be heavily out of my comfort zone, and I expect that. I'd expect nothing less. They're a tough opponent, and I'm certainly going to fight my ass off and do my very best for the team. And if I can do that, trust what's got me here, then I give myself the best chance to do well. Yeah, I was lucky enough to face Stuart Broad county cricket this year for playing for Gloucestershire against Notts. So, you know, I got a little bit of experience facing him. Obviously, never faced Jimmy Anderson before, but yeah, I've watched a lot of him bowl over the years. So, yeah, I think I really just wanted it so bad, you know. And when you want it so bad, sometimes the harder you try, the worse things get.
Pull, not push.
Welcome, mate.
How are you? You
To
okay?
sunny Brisbane as it is at the moment, eh?
I always think that at the end of your career, I'm judged on the way that I played in Ashes Test cricket. You walk around the streets in Australia, and luckily I've played okay in the last 3 big bashes, so I've got a wonderful rapport in Australia, and it's unbelievable the turnaround for me here. But I also judge that on the way that I played Ashes Test cricket. The hundreds I scored in the Test matches, the way that I did what I did, and the way that I went about it. And that's what these guys have got to look for here. Not look inwardly, not be selfish, but just understand that your job in a cricket team is to do something. These guys are going to have to do it very well, and they're going to have to do some special things to beat this Australian side. How many? I think I've played 2 or 3 Test matches. I forget to have a Test match very quickly. Yeah, I don't have a great relationship with the people in Brisbane. But first Test match where we played in 2006, 2007, where Hayden and Langer just whacked us everywhere, and every time they hit a boundary, Ford sponsored this Tonka Pom. So every 4, every 6, it just came up, bang, Tonka Pom, Tonka Pom. But you know what? If you want to do well and you want to be remembered as a great player for your country, this is the time.